up, good peoples? Welcome. What up, y'all? Welcome. We are here for a Relationship Thursday on a Friday. You can't hear me? You need to move that mic over here.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
What's gonna be in the way of me eating?
You gonna have to move the mic, boo. Like, you can't just...
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move the mic.
And I'm
don't
sorry.
knock stuff over, y'all.
I'm hungry, y'all, so I'm eating this chicken while I'm on here.
Yeah.
And y'all should not, if anybody be watching us, you know that I just have to eat. I gotta eat my food when it's time to eat my food.
All right, y'all. So we are here. Do us a favor and drop a comment in the chat. When it's Friday, let us know how you are feeling. How you feeling this Friday? We hopping into the weekend, and we had these fires this week over here on the West Coast in Cali, and on the East Coast, I know it was snow. So do me a favor, like I said, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know how y'all are feeling as we're entering into the weekend. Instagram, welcome to Relationship Thursday on a Friday. TikTok, welcome to Relationship Thursday on a Friday. Blamley, we see y'all in the house. Welcome. And YouTube, welcome as well. We're looking forward to getting into this topic because what I've seen in doing this work...
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm just doing a whole lot right now.
Yeah, you are. Like I told my wife before we got on, you can eat before we get started.
But like, I came in here, it was 10 minutes left.
Yeah, and so I'm not eating.
Did you eat?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I ate, I set everything up, and I'm sitting here without food, without a box of chicken in front of me and a drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually got a water bottle right here. So if I can do it, you can do it too.
The soda over there, don't act like you just got a water bottle like you ain't got a soda. But
I'm just saying though, like, I mean,
but you had lunch. I didn't have lunch, y'all. I'm just saying.
All right, y'all. So we got this topic.
Side. Let me step off real quick.
No, because you're always stepping off. Like, be present. Be present with the process. Be present in the experience.
Well,
be present without your chicken. So we are here, y'all.
Thank
we are
you,
here
Nikki. She said she won't complain.
For a Relationship Thursday on a Friday. And so I appreciate you, sir. Laugh out loud. Coach Ford said that. All right, so today's topic, y'all. We're looking into this whole piece around why cheating happens in good marriages. Why cheating happens in good marriages. Do me a favor and drop a 1 in the comments if you've dealt with infidelity before. Drop a 1 in the comments if infidelity is something that you've dealt with and whether or not it's something that you're dealing with right now. Do me a favor, drop a 1 in the comments. All right. So one of the things that I know is that infidelity is one of the things that wrecks homes. It wrecks homes. It wrecks individuals' lives, and it wrecks families. And so if you find yourself in a space where this is something that has knocked at your door, if you find yourself in a space where you thought that you got rid of it, but yet you're still dealing with lingering thoughts years, maybe even decades later, it's a very real thing, y'all. And so one of the questions that people often ask is, why me? Why us? How did it happen to us? How do we find ourselves in this situation? And so tonight we're going to be talking about why cheating happens in good marriages. And you see me putting air quotes up, for good marriages, because I do think that it's important for us to, qualify what we're speaking about when we say good marriages. And so what I want to lift up is that when it comes to good marriages, what people typically define as a good marriage is we ain't fighting, we're not really fussing, the bills are paid, our children are taken care of, he's coming home, she's coming home, we have occasional sex, we go on trips, we do date nights, et cetera, et cetera. And so those are the things that people classify and usually qualify as like a good marriage. And what they're speaking about specifically is like stability. They're speaking about stability. And so if that is something that you value and you take pride in, then you can check that box right there, because again, based off of that definition, it would be considered to be a good marriage. How many of y'all define like a good marriage based off of what I just mentioned? Type a 1 in the chat if you define a good marriage, or if you think a good marriage is what I just mentioned. Do me a favor, type a 1 in the chat. I see we got some ones with the Blamley. We need to be able to see YouTube too. All right, who thinks that right there is what consists of a good? You might want to scoot over, sir.
I can't see.
Let me move this. Hold that side over there. Excuse me, y'all.
What you about to do?
I'm just about to turn it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
There we go. And so again, like, folks identify or define a good marriage based off of what I just lifted up. And in real talk, those things are valuable. Those things are necessary. Those things are needed, because stability enables individuals and children to the ability to be able to thrive. So I don't want to knock any of that. But the other piece that I want to lift up is that good marriages aren't exclusively based off of, how you function. And so that may be a way in which you're able to assess the quality of the relationship. But in terms of it being a good marriage, a lot of times there could be a whole bunch of effort and not a lot of heart. A whole bunch of effort and not a lot of heart. And so I want y'all to really think about that, because again, the good marriage piece is oftentimes based off of effort. They pay the bills on time. They take the children to and fro. We're going on vacations, and we're doing a number of different things. And so it's based off of effort. It's based off of output. And so if you're evaluating your marriage based off of effort and there's not a lot of heart, then does it really qualify as a good marriage? I'm seeing the hearts flowing on TikTok and Instagram. Somebody asked us how long we've been married. We've been married for 22 years. And so the answer to that question for a number of people, and what we would even say, is that the answer is no. Mm-hmm. The answer is no. And so when you ask the question, like, why does cheating happen in a good marriage, it's based off of how you're defining a good marriage. And if it's all function, if it's all effort, if it's all output, if it's all tasks, and there's no heart, then is it really a good marriage? Mm-hmm. And here's the piece. It may even be the best that you can do in this moment. It may be the best that you can do, which is why we emphasize exposing yourself to other people, other spaces, and other places that can actually help you to elevate and see that there's more that you can experience. I had a session. For those who don't know, my wife and I were trained therapists and relationship coaches. We've been together for 29 years, married for 22. And so we do this work, and we got a community who I'm talking to Instagram right now. Some of the folks in our community, they're called affectionately the Blamily, and they lean in on a regular basis with us when we do trainings and stuff like that to level up and to do their work. And so what we often say is that relationship work is personal work. And one of the things that I want to acknowledge is that a lot of people aren't doing the personal work that needs to be done in order to improve the quality of the relationship. I had a session with somebody recently, and one of the things that I lifted up, I asked a question. I said, there's a difference between settling in your relationship and being settled. There's a difference. And so it's a good thing to be settled. Mm-hmm. It is. It's a good thing to be settled. You don't want folks to be wilding out, popping off, and there being insecurity and instability. You want to be settled in your relationship. If you're settled in your relationship, type a 1 in the chat. If you're settled in your marriage, type a 1 in the chat. It's a good thing to be settled. But it's something totally different to be settling. Yeah. It's something totally different to be settling. And so we got to be honest with ourselves and ask the question and assess whether or not we're settled or we're settling. And if we're settling in our relationship, then what that may look like is us not really getting into the heart stuff and being preoccupied and focused on the effort stuff, the output stuff, the functional stuff, the task-oriented stuff. We got to shift beyond settling and get settled. And the way you get settled is by understanding what's really required comprehensively in order for you to have a healthy relationship. Now, I've been talking all of this time. I'm not going to say I'm stalling, but I'm trying to give my wife time to chew, swallow. You playing my role. I'm telling you the one yapping. So I'm like, go ahead and do what you do. I typically don't be talking this much, but I'm trying to buy time for my wife. Nah, real talk though, what I just said was a piece of what I wanted to say before we dive further into this topic. Again, she's smacking. She's smacking Elijah. I'm sorry, I'm done. Before we dive further into this topic, again, ask yourself that question. Are you settling or are you settled? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you settling or are you settled?
So, what my husband is talking about in our Blamily knows this. We talk about this a lot. So I know we do need that Popeye sponsor, don't we?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I be telling her not to eat this stuff. They're not paying us nothing right now.
Everybody giving us nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you putting them on. Somebody's going to go eat Popeyes based off of you eating it right now.
Somebody tag Popeyes right now and be like, they repping over here. Hook them up. Okay, but what he's talking about, y'all, is emotional disconnection. So we talk about connection all the time. People come to us and they want to work on their communication and they want to work on, conflict management. We got these ongoing issues that need resolution. All of these things they want to get into. However, the connection between the two of them, once we assess that that's off, we can't even get to that off the top. We can't get to all the things that you want to be able to talk through and walk through. We need to talk about your connection, and we need you all to engage with one another, because connection is so important. And when that is not happening, and you're in a good marriage, as my husband talked about, because you all are, y'all, a lot of people say we partner well, we team well, we parent well together, we do the things well together. But there are oftentimes some voids, emotional voids that are happening inside of one partner, or maybe both, that you're not recognizing and you're not addressing. You're not recognizing and you're not addressing. Sometimes folks just kind of get into a place, I've learned from doing this work over time, where they think like this is just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't see it as an issue. Like, it's an issue, but in the grand scheme of things, we got a good life. So even if I'm not feeling really connected and we're not really spending time like that and we don't really talk and go beyond the surface like that, I mean, we do all right. We still have a good time, generally speaking, and hang out with folks, and our kids are doing all right. Mm-hmm. But what we're trying to raise the alarm for you on is that only lasts but for so long. Mm. That particularly when you have small children and just children in the house, period, after a while, you're going to shift and transition. For some of y'all got little kids and middle school kids and whatever. We got elementary school kids. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, it's easy to be distracted by life, or you're in the phase of your life where you're going back to school, or you're climbing the career ladder, whatever you're doing. It's easy to be distracted from that, because the partnering together is really important. And having little moments of having a good time, whatever, whether you got to get back to work or get back to all the busyness of life, it can kind of, mask some of that disconnect. But when things get quiet, in the midnight hour, I'm just playing, in the midnight hour, and you need some emotional connection. You need somebody to feel you. You need your partner to be able to walk over to you and know what you need, to breathe on your neck a little bit, to give you some energy, to be able to say to you some of the things that you have not been able to say because they are attuned with you. They know that your energy is off, and you don't have that kind of connection. Those things are not sustainable long term. You after a while, kids be about the house, it's like, this ain't it, because you don't have anything to distract you in the same way, right? And so I just want to raise that red flag for folks, because I think it's one of the things where it's like, you feel it in your gut, but you don't really do nothing with it until it smack you in the face. And some people don't even do nothing with it even when it smack them in the face. They just keep on sitting in the same situation. Yeah,
that's real talk right there. That whole emotional disconnect piece is real. So why does cheating happen in good marriages? As my wife said, it's because there's this distance and there's disconnect between the two of you. Mm-hmm. But the interesting piece about that is that thing can be so silent and so insidious. Like, it just sneaks up on you. And as I said a moment ago, like, you start settling for that being the norm. Mm-hmm. Like, almost as if like this is what all marriages and relationships should look like. And so, again, until you surround yourself with other people that are doing something different and are having real, genuine conversations. Do you know your man's heart? Do you know your woman's heart? Mm-hmm. Like, do you? Are y'all getting to the heart of the matter?
Yeah.
If the answer is no, then that right there is problematic, because real talk, stuff be happening internally. Stuff is happening for my wife. Stuff is happening for me. And if I'm not speaking to her and she's not speaking to me and she just holds on to it, that right there can lead to physiological stuff that's taking place, stress, hormonal imbalances, etc., mental depression, anxiety. Like, you're just holding on to that stuff. So what happens is that people got to get it out. Mm-hmm. You start to talk. You start to reach out. And it may not even be the intention from the beginning for it to turn into something new or something different. But like, I'm just trying to relieve my stress. I'm just trying to get this off my chest. Mm-hmm. And so you're looking for any and everybody to be able to talk to because you don't feel like you can talk to your man or you can't talk to your woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Another reason that people in good marriages experience infidelity is because they have unrealistic expectations of marriage. I guess, I know that for the most part, ain't nobody putting us through no classes, there actually are classes. They prepare you for marriage. There are places and spaces that do that. We do that. But for the most part, there's not a place and space. So most of the time people are getting your idea of what marriage is and what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I guess from Instagram, I don't know, from television. And so when we have these unrealistic expectations, we go into marriage thinking that some of the problems or some of the things that were sticking out to us that we saw early on or that we were like picking up on, we thinking they're going to go away when we get married. Like it's going to get better. This is like if you don't get nothing else from, excuse me, today. I drink some of this Popeye strawberry soda.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, get it together. Get it together. That's why you shouldn't be eating on a lot.
I'm gonna stay true. I'm gonna eat it for as long as I stay black. And that'll be for the rest of my life.
Really, boo? Hey, let me
Okay.
shout out Elijah real quick.
Now you're gonna make me forget my thought.
Let's hold on to it. I want to shout out Elijah over here.
Elijah?
Yeah, he donated on Instagram. I don't even know how you do that, but he gave $1.
Come on, Elijah.
Shout out to you, Elijah, for
You won't even be known.
yeah, he said I'm young, but what y'all are doing is so important. So thank you.
Oh.
So thank you for sharing that. I see we got some badges over here on TikTok. Shout out to the folks that's dropping badges and gifting certain things over there too.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, y'all looking at movies, whatever, right? Unrealistic expectations of marriage. When I think about the early days of my marriage with my husband and different cycles, like different times, right? We're in our late 40s now. Well, let me say this. My birthday's in August. I'm a Leo, bona fide. So it ain't been that long since I've been September, whatever. But I was like, dang, it's January. I'm gonna be 48 this year. Dang, catching up fast.
Yeah.
How you feel about it?
I don't know. I'm feeling some sort of way. When you said that earlier today, I was like, oh.
That's why I was looking at you. How you feel about it? So anyway, y'all, that ain't the point of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we got married when we were 24. So when I think about the things that, like, my husband was figuring out who he was. I was figuring out who I was. We were figuring out what do we want to do. And, there are levels to figuring out what you want to do. I was talking to somebody earlier today. We were talking about purpose. And there are different levels. We get talented and we have talents. We have gifts in certain ways. We have certain skills we build on over time. There's so many levels to our unfolding as individuals. We go into marriage. I don't even want to call one of my daughters was talking some crazy stuff the other day. We go into marriage and she ain't about to be married. So let me be clear. But into relationships and marriage specifically, thinking that, okay, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I hear women all the time, you need to lead and you need to do this. And, women, you need to serve me and, all this kind of, we have all of these ideas about, what we think is normal or okay, gender roles. Some of them work and some of them are outdated for you. They might not be for me, but they might be for you. Some of them work for me, and we don't have an expansive way to be able to look at how do we want this marriage to be? How are we going to roll? How are we going to do it? Let's have a conversation about how we feel about maybe some of the things that we just seen. And everybody thinks that's what a woman's supposed to do. That's what a wife is supposed to do. That's what a husband's supposed to do. And where are we on it? People don't even have the conversations. You just take what your mama said, what your church said, and you don't even weigh in. You don't even say, well, let me examine that. And if this is attached to my faith life or to what I think God is saying, then how do I be sure about that for me? So people have unrealistic expectations of marriage. And, y'all have heard this, I'm sure, because people talk about it all the time. Marriage is not 50-50. Not now, not no day. It's not 50-50. There are times when I am holding us down. My husband is struggling. Mm-hmm. There are times when I am on, I can't, I'm just in a space. He is holding the fort down.
I gotta get up.
Really, boo? You know what I mean? So it's not 50-50. And I'm talking about in all areas. I'm talking about all areas of life. So there are things that I expect from him, and there are things that he expects from me. But we have to be open to having conversation about what we're looking for and how we can meet each other's needs. And there are so many ways that doesn't happen. Let me talk about this next one, because this one right here, it has been interesting to me in doing this work, because it's been interesting to me how many people find themselves caught up in a cheating situation because of opportunity. Like they wasn't really looking for it. You know what I mean? They wasn't like putting no, they wasn't really out here trying to, get their needs met in another place. It was because of opportunity. But guess what? What I have noticed over time is that it has not been just because of opportunity alone, because lots of us, whether it's at work or wherever, different places, we will find ourselves having some opportunity, but they had opportunity and they had lack of boundaries. Mm-hmm. So when you have opportunity and there are no boundaries in a good marriage, no boundaries, you say, how is that even a good marriage, right? But generally speaking, y'all do all right. You all spend with.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to make sure that YouTube is straight. I feel like YouTube is not straight.
See them? I don't like when you be doing that.
All right, man. I get to that in a
second. You do it too much. Okay, but when you have no boundaries, right? Then the opportunity that the couple who has boundaries, that they get their spouse gets presented with some type of opportunity, but they have boundaries. Oh no, like you're not just about to go and after work and do boom 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 and then holler at me after you leave talking about I'm on the way home now. We don't do that, right? We check in with one another and I'm letting you know what's going on, right? Like we have some boundaries about how we do things. That couple does not deal, or they're less likely to deal with infidelity. But when there is opportunity and there are no boundaries, man, it can get real funky. Anything else you want to share about this? I got one more thing. What's going on?
I don't know.
Why are you smiling?
Nah, because I can't. I don't think it's on YouTube. So my apologies, YouTube, for the folks that were
they
trying
can't
to
hear
YouTube.
you because if you're not on there.
Yeah, but they'll see the replay though. We're gonna post it.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to this whole boundaries piece, I saw a question was also asked from my Blamely.
That's good, Elijah.
You recover after from cheating, and is it worth it? Can you recover from cheating, and is it worth it? Yes, you can recover.
For sure.
You can definitely recover if you do the work. If you do the work and lean into a process, you got to have a path and a process in order for you to effectively heal, recover, and restore. But you're also rebuilding, or you're building something new. So that's the important piece to pay attention to, because what you all had, like, sometimes that thing got to be demolished. Mm-hmm. And because there's so much hurt, there's so much damage, there's so much wreckage that it has to be dismantled completely, and you got to start fresh, start anew. And so what happens is that, a number of folks are reimagining their relationship post infidelity, and so it becomes something new, something different, something fresh, and as a result, you're starting over, and some folks tend to date sometime after that. We're gonna get into this on Sunday. For those who don't know, on Instagram, type the word breakthrough in the comments, or DM us the word breakthrough. We're talking about on Sunday when love hurts. This is the topic: when love hurts. How to heal after the affair. Linktree or no? Yeah, it is. It's in Linktree too.
So TikTok, y'all can find it there too in our Linktree.
Yeah, TikTok, it's on the Linktree, but we're having a training on Sunday where we're talking about what happens. So if you have experienced an affair, if you have experienced infidelity, on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be talking about how to recover, how to build something new. So make sure you show up for that. Tonight, we're just talking about why it happens, why the cheating happens. So my wife, she lifted up boundaries. Boundaries being a thing, an issue. And we've seen this over and over again. People slipping into a certain situation, intentionally walking into it, knowing that something is awry, but still finding themselves, moving toward a place where they end up stepping out. And so, again, you want to make sure you have very solid and firm boundaries, solid and firm boundaries in a relationship. And so, again, Instagram, comment or DM the word breakthrough. TikTok, you can do the same thing. But it's also in our Linktree. YouTube, if y'all are on, I don't think y'all are on, but
you don't even know.
Yeah, we'll follow up with y'all.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but you can recover. You can recover, And the second part of that question was, is it worth it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, if you do the work.
You're looking at an example.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 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 wow. You're looking at an example.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll share some more about that on Sunday.
Yeah, but it does go down to that individual work. People who stay focused on the other person, they really do have a hard time. And some of us are just more wired to do that, or we just really hella resistant.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to have a harder time versus just focusing on themselves and what it is they need to do. Mm-hmm. Because they're so mad or whatever the case may be. I do want to say this: when you have unresolved issues, unresolved trauma, unresolved childhood stuff, those things are going to continue to pop up in your life, not just your relationship, but in your life in every kind of way possible until you look at it. Because wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. I don't care, like, dang, keep dealing with the same thing. You can try to jump to another partner, but there you go. You in there and you have not resolved the issue. You can go to a new job. You can go get some new friends, and you keep having the same issues because anything that is unresolved will continue to push out until it gets addressed. And this is the divine design of life. We become unknowingly, unwittingly, unconsciously resistant and scared, but it's saying, please heal me. When it keeps popping up, I need to let me go. Mm-hmm. Let me go. Let this issue go. You don't need to hold on to me anymore. You don't need to hold on to me anymore. So that stuff popping up and spilling out into your relationship is a sign that it's time for it to let go. To be let go. However, if you don't know how to do that, if you don't even know how to put a name to it or have a sense of what that looks like, then you need help, right? But don't sit in a place where you got unresolved stuff. You never talk about your past. You just don't go there. It's been interesting to me to work with couples where like both of them, like they don't know, they only know like a certain amount. Like they only know like after a certain time, like the man ain't or the wife hasn't talked about, their childhood. I remember a particular couple, and the husband grew up in foster care, and wife only knew, I think, from the time he was like 20. Now she got with him when they were like, I don't know, in their 30s or something. But she only knew 20 because he didn't want to talk about it. And so anything that you suppress, anything that you resist, it will persist. It will keep coming forward. And so it was spilling out into their relationship. So when we don't have the wherewithal to address these things, y'all, it comes out. It come out all kind of ways. And it looks like unhealthy choices and responding to triggers. And, these are just unaddressed wounds. And this is why we have a lot of compassion for the folks that we work with. And we know that we are not what we do. That people are walking around doing stuff that is not serving them, it is not serving the relationship, and it doesn't serve anybody to make anyone a villain or to make anybody, just the worst person in the world. But it does serve us to say, if this is happening in my life, if this is happening in my relationship, if this is going on, this is a sign that it's time for me to grow. This is a symptom. And that is the last thing I want to say to you all tonight. Infidelity is a symptom. It is not the issue in and of itself. It is a symptom of something else going on inside of the person, the individual, and the relationship. And so if in nothing else, when we get beyond some of the shock and awe and the pain and anger and rage, if we can get curious, oh my goodness, about what is this showing me in my life? What is this showing me as the person who stepped out? What is this showing me as the person who was cheated on? What is this showing us? And where do we have the opportunity to go to? Because it gives you opportunity. You can get mad and just go into a place of funkiness and stay stuck, or you can grow and you can have opportunity to see yourself and see your situation in a completely different light. Many people do that and they stay together. People do that and they find that they need to separate. But what a waste. What a waste to not be curious about, what does this mean? What is this showing me? Because it is a symptom. And we have to be willing to look at that. So we're going to get into it more, y'all, on Sunday night. Sunday,
6 p.m. Eastern, y'all. Make sure you sign up. Make sure you come and join us. Again, IG type breakthrough in the comments if you want to show up and really understand the path and, the journey toward healing after the affair. Yes. And so if you find yourself in a space where it's happened, I don't care if it's happened today, last week, last year, or 10 years ago, this training on Sunday will definitely equip you with some tools, give you insight and inspiration and let you know you can experience healing and wholeness after the affair. And so again, get your spot, comment, breakthrough. Also go to our link tree, and the link to register is in there as well too.
What's up, Just the Kirks? Hey, y'all.
What up, y'all? And so again, check that out. Blamily, you can always sign up as well too. So we're here to provide support, and there's healing on the other side, but you got to be intentional and do your work, y'all. You got to be intentional and do your work. If you don't, you're gonna stay stuck.
And let me just say this, because I'm just excited.
What's that? Next
week, I'm going to be seeing my sisters. We are having the Divine Flow Retreat. I'm just sharing because I'm just excited, so I'm just telling y'all. I'm doing a wonderful, it's going to be an amazing, phenomenal, fabulous retreat in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee with women. And these are for women who are trying to transcend, go to another level in their mind, their body, their spirit, their emotional wellness, their mental health, their purpose, all the things, their spiritual practice. So we are coming together next week, and I am very, very, very excited. Very. Mm-hmm. And then we're stopping through Colorado for a day, right? So maybe we can see some of our Colorado.
Yeah, they reached out. One of them reached out to us.
Colorado Blamley. I was talking to D'Angela earlier today.
Like, you were?
Like, where the spot at? Like, where y'all be? I don't know nothing about Colorado.
Let's make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Or Denver specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Pacifically.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We see you on the next situation. Everybody be easy. Go to Linktree and sign up, or type breakthrough in the chat, the comments.
Or DM. DM us the word breakthrough.
Or you can DM us the word breakthrough on Instagram. But it's in our Linktree, folks. And we hope to see you on Sunday if this resonates with you and hits you. And let me just say this. Anybody, if you've been through this process and you are doing your work, you are making your way through, and you really further down the road, don't be going to every infidelity thing. Don't be coming to that. Don't be coming to all the infidelity things. You further down the road. Don't keep coming back and triggering yourself.
That's a good point.
All right. Okay, everybody. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
Record.